I'm Tim Kelly. This is the Real Sports Talk. Thank you for tuning in. And a lot of people coming into this playoffs weren't as excited about the NBA playoffs as we have been the last few years, because this guy, Derrick Rose, will most likely not be in the playoffs. Kobe Bryant with the torn Achilles, he will not be in the playoffs. And a lot of people truly feel like the Miami Heat and the Oklahoma City Thunder have a very good chance to repeat. And if not, it'll be a team like the Spurs in the NBA Finals, one of those teams. And a lot of people said to me, I don't feel like there's any teams that aren't big-time teams that really have a chance in these playoffs. And I could not have disagreed more. And this game that we just saw between the Warriors and the Nuggets, it proved exactly why. We saw two very good teams in an extremely competitive game. And this was a game that was back and forth the entire time. Andrew Bogut was huge late, and I think defensively, the Nuggets were a good team through the first three quarters, very solid on defense. And then in the fourth quarter, and Doris Burke pointed this out quite a bit. And by the way, she's much better doing color commentary than when she's on the sideline, just throwing that in there. But defensively, this Nuggets team is extremely solid when Andre Iguodala is in there. And as a Sixers fan, am I a big supporter of Andre Iguodala? No, I'm not. Because I think as an overall player, he's extremely overrated. But defensively, Andre Iguodala is a lockdown defender, and he makes every team he's on better defensively because he's a part of it. And when he was out of the game, we saw the Warriors make a run. Now, this was a game that David Lee, first of all, did get injured. He left with a right hip flexor strain, so we'll see ultimately what the deal is with David Lee. But this was a game that at one point the Nuggets got it to 89-81. David Lee was out of the game, and it really felt like the Warriors had played a solid game but just kind of ran out of gas towards the end. And then all of a sudden, they made a run. They were going back and forth. They got the game within three, and then Andre Miller and Andre Iguodala and a couple other guys on the Nuggets, I think Kenneth Faried had a basket. They were trading baskets to the point where it got to 93-90. They kept getting within three, and then the Nuggets would make a basket, and then the Warriors would push it back to within three. It got down to the point where the Warriors got it to a one-point game. They had the possession, and then Steph Curry, who overall tonight shooting-wise was not impressive, he had the ball stolen away from him, and Ty Lawson made a layup that almost got blocked by Andrew Bogut, who was ridiculously good defensively in the fourth quarter. We saw Ty Lawson make that. It was a three-point game, and it really felt like the Nuggets had all the energy, all the momentum from that point, and they would win. And then the Warriors, to their credit, they draw up a play, and it does not work at all. And they actually do get a lane. I think it was Jarrett Jack got a lane to the hoop, but they're down by three, so getting that lane for a layup really didn't make any difference because he was not going to get fouled, and they need 3 points. So he ends up kicking it out to Steph Curry, who's off balance, gets it in the corner like this, and takes an off-balance three. And it was one of the most wet shots I've seen this entire NBA season. Drills it, and it's a tie game. Took all the energy out of the Pepsi Center. And the Nuggets then, they take the ball back, and Andre Miller, who is the player of the game today, he finishes off a 28-point, 6-point performance by getting up and under to make the game-winning layup and give the Nuggets a 1-0 lead in this series. An absolutely tremendous game. And I said on Twitter, if you're not following me there, at CashKelly_TRST, KASH Kelly _TRST, that this was a series that I was truly most interested in because they're not two teams that necessarily have a ton of star power. I think Andre Iguodala is the only player in this team, or in this game, or in this series for that matter, that played in the Olympics team and is really a big name. But then there's other guys like Steph Curry. I think the Warriors are a fun team with Jarrett Jack, Andrew Bogut, David Lee, and then you look over towards the Nuggets, and then you look at Kenneth Faried. You look at a very, very good Ty Lawson, who's improved a lot on his jump shot throughout the course of this season. And it's going to be an extremely fun series. I do believe this is a 7-game series. I think it can go either way. I think the Nuggets do end up winning because overall the Nuggets, in my mind, are a little bit better of a team. And a lot of this is ultimately going to depend on whether David Lee can get back for the Warriors, because David Lee, if he's not the best rebounder in the NBA, he's right up there. And he has been extremely crucial to the Warriors. If you've watched their games, I've seen a ton of Warriors action this year because I just watch it on the streams online, and I watch a ton of Warriors basketball because they're a fun young team to watch. And all the credit went to Steph Curry, but David Lee actually, I believe, was an all-star this season, and he deserved it because of how good he was on the boards. A lot of people remember him in his earlier parts of his career with the New York Knicks, but he's been extremely productive for this team this year, and they're going to need him back if they're going to seriously make a run, not only in this series, but even beyond that, if they are able to win this series. So the Nuggets, in a tremendous game, get a 97-95 win over the Golden State Warriors to take a 1-0 lead. Guys, the NBA playoffs are back, and so far they have not disappointed. Tremendous game. Akeem loved the coverage of the two games tonight, but the Real Sports Talk here, youtube.com/MrKelstar, we're going to have it all covered. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter @CashKelly_TRST and Facebook.com/TheRealSportsTalk. I'll catch you guys next time.